The 2023 MLB All Star Ballot is officially out, and in this video, I will be sharing my opinion of who I think the MLB All Stars in 2023 should be. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and let's go ahead and get straight into the video. For me personally, first base in the American League really isn't that hard because, you have Yandy Diaz here, about 1,000 OPS, 316 average. He just gets on base and does a bunch of that stuff great, and he's going to be my decision here. But honestly, you have guys like Ryan Noda you could vote for. Really nice year he's having in Oakland. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. having a great year. Anthony Rizzo doing great. But for me, it's Yandy Diaz at first base for the American League. For the National League first baseman, I think this is also a pretty straightforward answer because, Freddie Freeman, 1,000 OPS, basically, hitting 333. He's just doing everything great that he normally does. Not really surprising from him, so he's going to be my pick. But, you have guys like Pete Alonso, 22 home runs, leads the major leagues. I would love to pick him if Freddie Freeman wasn't here. Pete Alonso would definitely be my pick. Paul Goldschmidt having another kind of MVP year. Matt Olson doing great for the Braves, as much as I hate to say that. Spencer Steer even doing great. There's a bunch of first basemen here for the National League, but Freddie Freeman is the obvious choice. Alright, on to second base. There's a lot of really good choices for the American League. I think Jose Altuve would be my pick if he had been around more. It sucks that he got a broken hand in the WBC, but that happens. Zach McKinstry having a breakout year. I hope he does well too. But Marcus Semien's going to be my choice here just because his great defense at second base, really, 50 RBIs as a second baseman is really hard to do, but he's done it, so Marcus Semien's going to be my pick. Okay, I'm sorry, but if you pick anybody except Luis Arias on this next position, second baseman for the National League, then you just don't know what you're doing with it because he's hitting 403. And when you lead your position in OPS with one home run, that's when you know you're doing something right with at least average and on-base percentage, stuff like that. Nolan Gorman having a great year would be the all-star for the second base if Luis Arias was not here. But, it's Luis Arias. I don't really have much else to say about that. Third base in the American League. You have Matt Chapman, who started the year like the best player in baseball, but has really cooled off. Josh Young been really consistent for the Rangers. Great defense too. Isaac Paredes even having a really nice year for the Rays. Who isn't? But all these other guys really aren't on my radar as much as these three for the All-Star ballot. Matt Chapman's really the guy here for me, just because his defense is better than Josh Young's. I know Josh Young's been better with the bat, but Matt Chapman started so hot, so we know what he can get and what he can give for a whole season, really. And Matt Chapman is just, honestly, I think better than Josh Young anyway. Okay, so don't get me wrong, I love what JD Davis is doing in the National League for third base, but why did the Mets have to trade him like they did last year, giving up 3 prospects and JD Davis for Darren Ruff? I discussed that in another video, go watch that if you haven't. But JD Davis has been great. Max Muncy, a lot of home runs, not a very good average, maybe. Ryan McMahon, besides 1 or 2 really good weeks, hasn't been great. You got Austin Riley, who's just been Austin Riley. But really my choice here is down to JD Davis and Max Muncy. I really like the average JD Davis has over Muncy's. Muncy's a lot more home runs and RBIs, but JD Davis higher OPS. And I think even though JD Davis isn't very good defensively at third, I think he's still better than Max Muncy. So my choice for the National League third baseman is going to be JD Davis. So the story with the shortstops in baseball is really the guys in the American League have been doing what you expect them to do, and the guys in the National League have some surprise, and others that have done really good are just not good this year. I don't know what's going on with that. But in the American League, Corey Seager he's been injured, so maybe not. Bo Bichette has just been super consistent and awesome the entire year. I would definitely put him as an MVP finalist right now. Wander Franco has been great for the Rays. I think he leads baseball in WAR. Jeremy Pena have been okay, but really all the other guys in the American League not ones I'm going to pick. So for me, it's down to Wander Franco and Bo Bichette. I think I'm going to give it to Bichette here, but in a few weeks when I do this video again with the final ballot, it could be Franco if Bo Bichette either just digresses or Franco does great. The National League shortstop position is not something I thought I would see. You have Trey Turner down at the bottom in OPS, along with Brandon Crawford, John Birdie, and C.J. Abrams, so that's not good company. Willie Adames not doing too great. His average is really bad. Francisco Lindor really letting me down on the Mets. Xander Bogaerts has been okay. Could be a lot better for what they signed him for. Dansby Swanson, okay, I guess, but like really honestly my final two here are gonna be Geraldo Perdomo, who's just been great with runners in scoring position for the Diamondbacks, and Orlando Arcia, been super consistent, great average. I have him on my fantasy team, so maybe I have some bias there. But I'm gonna give it to Orlando Arcia because he's really held down that shortstop position and he's meant a lot more to the Braves than I think Perdomo's meant for the Diamondbacks. So right now, Orlando Arcia my pick, but maybe Geraldo Perdomo gets in there in the final ballot. For me, the catcher position in the American League is down to two players. That is Adley Rutschman, the number one overall pick, and Jonah Heim, who's really had a nice year with the Rangers. I mean, who hasn't? Again, like, just one of those teams that has really been surprise team this year. All these other guys, not very good at all. I mean, you could make a case for Matt Thaiss or Salvador Perez, but really these guys haven't done it as much as Adley Rutschman and Jonah Heim this year. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Jonah Heim because of what he's meant to the Rangers. I mean, I love Adley, everything he's done, but Jonah Heim has really stepped up in the clutch for the Rangers, and I think he deserves it. As much as I want to pick Francisco Alvarez right here, you have three other guys, and Sean Murphy, Will Smith, and Elias Diaz, that have been better and more at bats. So Francisco Alvarez, I love you, but just not going to pick you right now, mostly because of the average. I love the home runs, though. Sean Murphy has been an MVP caliber player. Will Smith, also MVP caliber player. I really like the average at the catcher position. That's great. Elias Diaz, what a surprise season from him. He's definitely up there and one of the most surprising players this year. Again, love the average. But it's not going to be him just because of he doesn't have the home runs that these two guys do, and it won't be Will Smith because of the RBI total. Sean Murphy leads in OPS, RBIs, home runs, and I just think he's overall better than these two guys this year. So I'm going to do the outfield position all at once just because I think it might be a little easier that way to understand what I'm doing. For the first two, you have to go with Aaron Judge and Ronald Acuna Jr., just two of the best players and probably the two frontrunners in MVP this year. Yordan Alvarez is listed as an outfielder. I don't know how I feel about that. But as we go down the list for the American League, you have Yordan Alvarez. Ezekiel Duran's been great for the Rangers. Probably not going to pick him, though, because of the sample size. Masataka Yoshida's been great. Really past, I think, all the way down here, not gonna do, but I think the finalists for the American League outfielders for me is gonna be Aaron Judge, Yordan Alvarez, you have to pick just because of what he does every year, and I think it's down to Randy Rosarena, Masataka Yoshida, Josh Lowe, and Mike Trout. I mean, Mike Trout, one of the best players ever. I cannot believe I might not pick him here, but you just have three other guys that have been maybe better. Randy Rosarena, just that guy's turned into such a great player. Masataka Yoshida, what a dude he's been coming over from Japan. Josh Lowe, nice rookie season. I'm not gonna choose Josh Lowe just because I think these other three guys have more established careers. I think Masataka Yoshida been great. Not gonna pick him though. And Mike Trout, I cannot believe I'm saying this. Randy Rosarena is having a better year than Mike Trout, and that's why I'm picking Randy Rosarena. So my outfield for the American League is Aaron Judge, Yordan Alvarez, and Randy Rosarena. On to the National League, I already have Ronald Acuna Jr., Corbin Carroll, what a year he's having. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., also, he's been on fire these past month and a half. Juan Soto quietly with a 905 OPS, you love to see it. Mookie Betts been great, and I think it's down to these four for the final two spots. I think you have to pick Juan Soto here because of the walks and just on-base percentage, stuff like that you don't see here. Also, Corbin Carroll, I'm going to pick him too. His average just is amazing. His OPS is amazing. He's definitely a future MVP. His defense is awesome. Just everything about him is great. And so that's my outfield for the National League. Ronald Acuna Jr., Corbin Carroll, and Juan Soto. I think the automatic three finalists for the American League DH position is Shohei Ohtani, Brent Rooker, and Harold Ramirez. And you guys all know who I'm going to pick automatically, but I'll go ahead and make cases for the other two if you say want to pick them. Brent Rooker, what a surprise season he's having out of Oakland. Not much going on good that's there, but he's having a really nice 870 OPS season, 12 home runs. I love seeing the power there. Just a nice bounce back and really cool year from Brent Rooker. Harold Ramirez, just a great contact bat, high OPS, He will give you power as well. 29 RBIs, love to see it. But Shohei Ohtani's obviously got to be my pick. Just the amazing two-way player. Can pitch like a Cy Young, can hit like an MVP. You just love to see it. And that's why I'm picking Shohei Ohtani at the DH position in the American League. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the National League DH position is actually really stacked and like a lot more than I thought it would be. All the way down to the bottom, really, you have guys that could be in this All-Star game. I'm not gonna choose Travis d'Arnaud down because I think there's better guys. Same with Charlie Blackmon, Evan Longoria, and Joey Meneses. They're all having really solid years. I just think there's at least 4 or 5 other guys that are doing better than them. Andrew McCutchen, what a final year he's having in Pittsburgh. That's really what he's been doing every year of his career. Bryce Harper, just coming back from the Tommy John surgery in record time and been doing great. Jorge Soler, he's hitting home runs galore, even not as bad of an average as he normally has. 850 OPS too, I really like to see that. I'm not going to pick Christopher Morel just because of the sample size. These other guys have a lot more games than he does. Recently got called up, it's not his fault, but I'm just not going to pick him for that. JD Martinez, I think this guy's going to be my pick because he's coming out of Boston, get back with this hitting coach in LA, and I think that's really helping him out. Also, warmer weather, it's just better weather overall. JD Martinez, he's really good. So these are the guys on my first MLB 2023 All-Star ballot. You have Yandy Diaz, Marcus Semien, Matt Chapman, Bo Bichette, Jonah Heim, Aaron Judge, Yordan Alvarez, Randy Rosarena, and Shohei Ohtani in the American League. And then the National League, you have Freddie Freeman, Luis Ariz, J.D. Davis, Orlando Arcia, Sean Murphy, Ronald Acuna Jr., Corbin Carroll, Juan Soto, and JD Martinez. So please let me know what you guys think of this. I really love doing this. Let's see if I maybe do another video. I'm sure I will. Just please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you guys in my next video.